Have you ever wondered how India will be developed by 2047? Actually, what is going to happen in the coming 23 years? Will it be a strong economy? Well, yes, but only to a certain extent. Maybe a percentage of 10% to 20%. Or will it be a technological advancement? I can say yes, but how? In the next 20 minutes, you will know exactly about the three most important pillars of development, how technology can foster these pillars, and what it takes to make a developed nation. We will discuss the great potential of technology and how it changes the way people think and act daily. So, let's get started. Hey there, Modi here. Welcome to yet another episode of the 5G Tech Talk. And if you are not subscribed to me on Apple or Spotify, please do that immediately. This is one of my favorite topics, which is helping everyone to understand what changes we need to bring collectively to make a developed nation. As you already know, India is expected to become the world's third largest economy by 2030. Even after achieving that milestone, we will have 17 years after that to reach the stage of holistic development. The key point to remember is this: for India to become fully developed, each of us needs to be developed first. This means adopting good habits, refining our attitudes, and working on self improvement, which I call the first pillar of development. And let be honest, making these changes within ourselves is easier said than done. After all, habits are deeply ingrained, and no one can force another person to change. This is the irony we all live with. But here, the twist: technology can play a huge role in helping us make those difficult changes, not by force, but by seamlessly integrating positive changes into our lives. Want to know how? Let's take a ride within Uber Drive to understand. Few months back, I was returning from my hometown. I booked an Uber. Driver came and he asked whether I would do the payment in cash or online. I said online since that was my selected option and the Uber app did won't allow me to change the payment mode. I was in a hurry and asked him, would you like me to cancel this trip on the app and drop me off at the railway station for the same price with payment with cash? This I said to him based on my last experience of what they used to do when they did not have money in their account. Because Uber takes time to put money in their account, and sometimes they need the fund for immediate expenses like refueling. We need to understand the driver's perspective as well. Why were they doing this, right? So the story was driver politely said no. He explained that asking customer to cancel the trip affected his rating and he did not want to risk a lower score. I was impressed by his decision to follow the rules, and it made me realize something important. Technology, specifically Uber rating system, was seamlessly encouraging the driver to choose ethical behavior over convenience. I appreciated him, and that was first sign towards positive change. But during the journey, internally I appreciated Uber as well. This experience illustrated a powerful point. Tracking can change habits. Driver was aware that Uber was tracking his behavior and it motivated him to follow the right practices. This is not just limited to Uber, it is a glimpse into how habit forming through technology could shape society as a whole. Imagine you are driving on a highway with a speed radar monitoring your pace. You might have been tempted to go over the limit, but the mere presence of the radar keeps you in check. That's what tracking does. It reinforces the right behavior. In the driver's case, he knew his actions were being observed, so he avoided a practice that would negatively impact his rating, which causes Uber to put him on the low priority for any new call. Nothing even deeper. This driver did not just happen to act this way. He changed his habit because of the tracking system in place, through which Uber got to know that the driver asked the passenger to cancel the booking and drove to the same customer destination's location. And what if we could apply a similar tracking model across various sectors to encourage ethical, responsive behavior? Now let's take this concept a step further. Currently, tracking relies heavily on smartphones, which are easy to manipulate. For instance, a driver could simply disable the location setting on their device. In that moment, tracking would cease completely. This loophole makes accountability limited. But as we move towards a 5G enabled world, it is entirely possible to establish a system where tracking is continuous, even when we don't have our devices with us. Imagine a future where our surroundings have sensors and 5G millimeter wave technology that can ensure tracking and accountability at all times, creating environment where integrity becomes the standard. Imagine you walk into a grocery store with no cashier. It is fully automated, self-checkout system, camera and sensors powered by 5G track your movements and scan the items in your cart as you shop. This system ensures that every product is accounted for, leaving no room for error or dishonesty. Knowing that the store has a tracking system, encourage people to follow the rules. This way, technology quietly promotes ethical behavior. People tend to act better when they know they are accountable. In our last story, if technology can inspire one Uber driver to adopt better habits, imagine the transformative impact when scaled nationwide. Here, how tracking could help drive positive change on a broader level by making honesty as a norm, not just an option. When we foster such good habits collectively, the transformation becomes unstoppable. This shift in mindset and behavior will pave the way for tuning our nation, or turning our nation into a truly developed nation. Now, on the same note, let's talk about how to prevent crime. With advanced tracking system, crime can be prevented simply by making it clear that every action is visible and traceable. Imagine knowing that any act of theft or vandalism will be tracked back to you within seconds. Our system will allow law enforcement to investigate and prosecute criminal activity at a fast pace. Technology won't only be reactive, it will prevent wrongdoing by making it known that consequences are inevitable. By fostering a culture of accountability and integrity, technology can help shape the habits of future generations like habit of care, habit of collaboration, habit of following traffic rules, habit of not damaging any public property. Children growing up in this environment will learn to value honesty and responsibility as a part of daily life, creating a cycle of ethical behavior that can last for generations. After that, I think every place in the world would be a place like heaven. Now, to make this vision a reality, India will need a robust infrastructure of 5G networks and millimeter wave technology. This is not just about having faster internet speeds. It is about building a seamless system that enables real-time tracking and accountability. With a strong foundation in place, technology can serve as a powerful tool to encourage positive behavior and ultimately drive India's development. Picture a future where cities are safe, crime is rare, and people follow rules not out of fear but is part of a shared ethical commitment. In this India, technology is not just for convenience, it is a silent enforce of good habits and ethical practices, guiding us to become better individuals and collectively we make a developed nation. India's journey to development by 2047 may indeed involve economic growth and technological advancement, but it also requires something more subtle, a shift in mindset, supported by technology that encourage ethical habits. By embracing this vision, we can create a society that is not only prosperous, but also just, responsible, and united. Let's see the second important pillar of development, which is on human efficiency. To drive true development, we need to channel our human resources into a high value task and use minimal personal for routine, repetitive tasks. We can leverage technology to take over the majority of this trivial task, allowing us to better allocate our workforce where it counts. Let me take you back. It was the year 2009 when I was in Finland working with Nokia, and behind our office there was a dense forest. One day, I saw something that completely caught my attention. A single worker operating a powerful machine. This single machine was doing every aspect of forest cleaning, like cutting, processing, and neatly loading it in onto a truck. And finally, the forest was looking so clean and beautiful, like we usually look after a haircut. The worker just sat there, controlling the machine with ease. The worker did not need a team for this task. The machine took care of all the heavy lifting. It was a clear example of how technology can minimize manual efforts and streamline operations. It struck me as an incredible display of efficiency. That was the first time I truly witnessed the transformative power of automation, not just inside the office but out in the real world. It left a lasting impression on me. Similarly, we need to rethink the way we approach tasks like parcel delivery in India and automate it. For instance, while we often see drones at wedding capturing aerial shots, there is an untapped potential for using drones beyond just photography. Drones are equipped with GPS, cameras, sensors, and AI to navigate routes, avoid obstacles, and ensure precise deliveries. Imagine replacing many delivery personnel with drones. Drones would eliminate traffic issue by taking direct air routes, significantly reducing delivery times. They are eco-friendly too, cutting down on the carbon footprint compared to fuel-powered delivery vehicles. Plus, they can reach remote and inaccessible areas, ensuring that essential supplies like medicines and emergency kits get where they are needed most. The benefits are immense: lower cost, faster deliveries, and less environment impact. So why limit drones to weddings? To the time to rethink parcel delivery, automate where possible, and leverage the potential of technology to transform the way we handle everyday tasks. Shifting to drone-based delivery for routine parcel could significantly reduce dependency on human resources for mundane tasks. This in turn would free up people to focus on roles that demand creativity, critical thinking, and human interaction. Tasks where their skill and talent can truly shine. This is just one example. There are countless ways we can minimize the use of resources for trivial tasks and redirect them to the area where they can make a great impact. Efficient resource utilization is, after all, a defining characteristic of developed nation. Take Finland, for instance, a small country but developed because they use their resources efficiently and believe in automation. From Finland, I remember another revelation of perfect automation. On one of the starting weekends, my roommates and I visited the local K market where we saw people come with used bottles and put them one by one in a vending machine. Be it a Coca-Cola bottle, be it a beer bottle. And in response, they would get a token for the equivalent value, which they could use for their next shopping trip. Genius, isn't it? This simple technology and tactics encourage people to recycle their containers while they come for shopping instead of tossing bottles carelessly. I observed that no one left the plastic bottle or container here and there. They were a part of a closed loop system. I could not help but think, why can't we do this in India? Why can't we leverage technology like this here, where human intervention is not required but make each one accountable? Do you know why such innovation happened? Because wherever the resources are scarce, you recognize its value and use it efficiently. Now you might wonder, if we free people from repetitive or trivial tasks, where else can they contribute? One promising answer lies in addressing the third important and critical pillar of development, which is empowering education. If we free people from trivial tasks, they can contribute in numerous impactful ways. One area that desperately needs attention is improving the education system in rural areas. For instance, They could focus on providing trainings and education in remote areas for innovation technology like virtual reality. With immersive VR, a student could virtually attend classes conducted by highly qualified instructors. This would enable them to bridge the gap in access to quality education, bringing skilled trainers and immersive learning experience to students in rural regions. But for this vision to materialize, we need strong and reliable network connectivity in remote areas. A robust digital infrastructure would not only bridge the education gap but also set the foundation for a more empowered and informed rural population by future generations. Beyond education, these free resources could also drive advancement in healthcare, community development, and skill building initiatives, creating a more inclusive and developed society. When the right person is in the right place, incredible things start to happen. So, in this episode, we have covered how 5G technology can facilitate to build good habits, how can we efficiently use our human resources, and significantly contribute to enhancing our education system. Okay, so with that being said, thank you so much. I hope you like this, and I look forward to sharing more stuff like this in my future episodes. Stay tuned. Thank you.